Welcome to the My Creative Journey Guide. We're going to be learning the basic structure for telling the story of your own individual creative journeys. This will help you to organize your thoughts and get ready to create your own story. The concept that we're exploring here is really narrative structure. It's taking a look at scaffolding or supporting frameworks for helping you to build a story. How to keep it logical, flowing, well organized, and structured in a manner that makes it comprehensible by your audience. Every good story takes its audience on a journey, and every journey follows a path, and every path has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's what's in the middle that's of some interest to us. It's the bumps, the hills, the valleys, and the chicanes along the way that create the dramatic tension in a story. A turn in the road in the story of one's life, for example, could be, say, a surgeon making a career change, using their skilled eyes and hands from helping people to creating art as an illustrator. This could be brought on by random, unforeseen circumstances. Now it's your turn to share your story. You're going to tell us a story about your creative journey. And by telling it, you're going to take your audience along on that journey with you. There are many ways in which to structure your story. We're going to use a chronological order. That is, we're going to structure it in time. The best place to begin is in the past. Begin by introducing yourself and the title of your story. For example,
my name is Captain Jim Kinney, and my story is all about piracy.
You see, don't forget you're allowed to act. Aha! Did you notice what I did on that last slide? Using the pirate voice and framing my story as if it were a pirate story. In fact, it was just about somebody stealing my artwork. But that's what made it more interesting to the audience. That's called the hook. Think about what your hook's going to be. After you introduce yourself, talk about your earliest creative influences and why they were so important to your development. For instance, mine was television and the show Fireball XL5. It showed me a future full of rocket ships, space travel, and it really ignited my imagination. Next, share your earliest memory of a creative accomplishment that you were particularly proud of. In my case, I must have been about 6 years of age, and I drew this horse from a photographic reference in a book. It was well proportioned, highly detailed, and shaded. It was something that I was exceedingly proud of. Next, consider who or what hampered or opposed your creative efforts. It might have been a person, a set of circumstances, self-doubt. Consider it and share it with us. Next, explain how you prevailed over those circumstances or those people that sought to hold you back. Next, share what your area of interest was and why. Initially, my area of interest was science because I had an insatiable curiosity to know how things worked. Next, answer the question, what experiences, knowledge, or interests help to prepare you for your current area of interest? For instance, my dabbling in art as a child, also my curiosity and ability to ask questions from science prepared me for my life as a designer. Explain which singular event most influenced your decision to pursue your current area of interest. For instance, for me, it was gaining volunteer experience at my university's student paper. You should consider sharing with us who influenced or assisted you in your creative pursuits. In my case, it was my newspaper editor, who really encouraged me to explore all aspects of newspaper production. Next, you should take a look at the here and the now, those things that are shaping the present. Consider how your interests and your creative pursuits have shaped the world around you. For instance, your family, your friends, and your relationships with them. How would you summarize your perspective on design or art? In a sense, your philosophy. How is it relevant to you individually and to humanity in general? Take your story a little bit further and tell us how your creative pursuits connect to your artistic vision or philosophy. How does it represent that view? Share how your time here at school has challenged you creatively. Share with us a time this year where you had an epic win, where you felt like the top dog or gummy bear. Equally important are the downturns in life, the struggles. So share with us sometime this year where you experienced an epic fail, where things didn't go quite as planned. Of all your creations, share with us that one which you're the most proud of, and then explain to us why that's the case. Share with us what the biggest highlight in your current pursuit of your creative interests has been. And now we move on to the final section of our narrative, where we explore your ideas and your ambitions for the future. Think for a moment about where you see yourself in 5 years' time. Take a look into the future and think about geographically where you might be and the type of employment you might be engaged in, or anything else you might think of. Consider what your next steps are going to be on completion of this program and share that with us. Explain to us the most important lesson that you've learned in school this year. Explain it as if you were speaking to somebody just entering the program. Words of advice. If you could have a wish come true, what would it be? Remember that you can use some or all of the suggestions that have been presented here, but first and foremost, this is your story. Tell it your way. And good luck and bon voyage.